in this video, I'm going to talk about aspiration, having the right aspiration. In terms of, in the martial arts, you see, especially in the Chinese martial arts, there is this tradition of respecting your elders, which is the Confucianist philosophy. You respect your elders, but somehow they got that twisted and confused with ability, technical ability. So I'm talking about in the 60s now. I don't know whether today, I think today largely this problem still persists, in that, because of the respect for your elders, so that concept that you as the student must never exceed the technical ability of your teacher. Because if you do, you're being disrespectful. Which is kind of a twisted way of thinking. And in Wuchia, we never had this problem. My teacher had many arguments, and I remember many arguments he had with the local masters, and all of them said, no, your student must always be inferior to you, in terms of ability. Must always be inferior to you, can never be superior to you. And to him, it didn't make sense. And also one big argument where he said, look, let's take the example that if I'm a science teacher, I teach science, right? And I've never won the Nobel Prize because I'm not that good, but I happen to teach a student who is very bright and very potential, and loads of potential. And, if my student was to win a Nobel Prize, I'll be over the moon. I'll be very happy. I'll be very proud. But my student has exceeded my ability. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we're about. We want every generation to become better, not worse, not going backwards. So we should not, with every generation that goes by, we should be getting better and not degenerating. But sticking to that philosophy, mixing it up about respect of elders with ability, it's not clear thinking. It's fun. It's muddled thinking. It's being silly, and it probably has something to do with ego as well. And I remember one of the teachers, one of the masters at the meeting said, no. He said, listen, if your student becomes better than you, that means he can beat you up. And my teacher said, yeah, but actually, that again is irrelevant, because that will grow old and there'll come a stage where I'll be too old to do anything anyway, and anybody could beat me up. But that's not the basis, is it, to teach your students? So because of that fear of being beaten up by your student, you're going to make every generation less capable than the previous one. So in 10 generations, what we've got left? All we get left is rubbish. That's not the right way of thinking, is it? What we want is for every generation to get better. As to the business of getting beaten up, well, that's the role of the teacher. If you've taught your students properly, even when you're old and incapable, they will still respect you, and they will love you, and they will even protect you if somebody attacks you. Because you're family. You don't have to worry about that. If they're not around to protect you, obviously you're vulnerable. But then that's life, isn't it? But that's no excuse for not making your students, or for fearing that your students, and putting that limitation that your student must not ever exceed you in technical ability. That way the style is going downwards, it's not going to go upwards. And you see, the trajectory of Wuchia is this way, up. With every generation, we'll get better and better and better. In the other model, it's going the other way. And in 10 generations, as my teacher said, in 10 generations, there will be nothing worth learning then. Because, every generation is degenerated and less capable than the previous one. I mean, that is so muddled, confused, and silly thinking. And I don't know why people think like that. I guess there's a combination of ego, that you're the boss, you're the teacher, and your students have to be subservient to you. To me, that's always been the wrong thing. You know, your students should not be subservient to you. Your students will respect you if you're a good teacher and you taught them well, and you taught them good lessons, and they can make a success out of their lives and improve their life's chances. That they will always respect you for. You don't need to worry about them beating you up. I mean, you know, crikey, you know, if 5 of my students were to jump on me at my age now, I don't think I can fight them off. But will they jump on me? I don't think so, because they respect me too much. And you know, that's part of life. So you must get the right perspective and say, what am I doing here? You know, why shouldn't I be proud if my student was to win the Nobel Prize? Why shouldn't I be proud? After all, he is my student. So there's nothing wrong with your student becoming better than you. In fact, should be ultimately your objective, so that every generation becomes better than the next. Right? Otherwise, we're going backwards. We'll end up being in the Stone Age. You know? We'll be living as primitives and living in caves and stuff like that. I don't think we want to go there. So get your thinking right, and inspire your students. Have the right aspiration that you want to make every generation better and yourself better in the process. Thank you.